Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Shalom. All praises, blessings, glories, and honors be unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Racha Kodash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone who have taught me this truth, as well as men of like mind. Shalom wa chasad, which means peace and mercy to the elect of the nation of Israel, whom are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and Israelite foreigners of the seed line of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, whom are scattered here in America, which is Babylon the Great, and abroad. To you I say Shalom in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ratazah. This lesson is edifying and informative. In the news, from the BBC, the microchip implants that let you pay with your hand. A woman paying for her meal in a cafe using a contactless payment chip implanted in her hand by Piotr Jednaka. This article was published by Catherine Lytham, a business reporter for the BBC Business. Patrick Puman causes a stir whenever he pays for something in a shop or restaurant. This is because the 37-year-old doesn't need to use a bank card or his mobile phone to pay. Instead, he simply places his left hand near the contactless card reader and the payment goes through. The reactions I get from cashiers are priceless, says Mr. Puman, a security guard from the Netherlands. He is able to pay using his hand because back in 2019, he had a contactless payment microchip injected under his skin. The procedure hurts as much as when someone pinches your skin, says Mr. Puman. Mr. Puman has a chip under the skin of his left hand, and it lights up when it comes into close contact with a payment machine, even as seen in the image. A microchip was first implanted into a human back in 1998, but it is only during the past decade that the technology has been available commercially. And when it comes to implantable payment chips, British-Polish firm Baltimore says that last year it became the first company to offer them for sale. The implant can be used to pay for a drink on the beach in Rio, a coffee in New York, a haircut in Paris, or at your local grocery store, says founder and chief executive Wojtek Propota. It can be used wherever contactless payments are accepted. Walletmore's chip, which weighs less than a gram and is little bigger than a grain of rice, is comprised of a tiny microchip and antenna encased in a biopolymer, a naturally sourced material similar to plastic. Mr. Papata added that it is entirely safe, has regulatory approval, works immediately after being implanted, and will stay firmly in place. It also does not require a battery or other power source. The firm says it has now sold more than 500 of the chips. Technology Baltimore uses is near-field communication, or NFC. The contactless payment system is smartphones. Other payment implants are based on radio frequency identification, RFID, which is the similar technology typically found in physical contactless, debit and credit cards. An X-ray showing a Baltimore implant, which are injected into a person's hand after a local anesthesia. For many of us, the idea of having such a chip implanted in our body is an appalling one. With a 2021 survey of more than 4,000 people across The UK and European Union found that 51% will consider it. However, without giving a percentage figure, the report added that invasiveness and security issues remain a major concern for respondents. This is why they are setting up the CBDC infrastructure. Mr. Palman says he doesn't have any of these worries. Chip implants contains the same kind of technology that people use on a daily basis, he says. From key fobs on unlocking doors to unlock doors, public transit cards like the London Oyster card or bank cards with contactless payment function. The reading distance is limited by the small antenna coil inside implant. The implant needs to be within the electromagnetic field of a compatible RFID or NFC reader. Only when there is a magnetic coupling between the reader and the transponder can the implant be read. He adds that he is not concerned that his whereabouts could be tracked. RFID chips are used in pets to identify them when they're lost, he says, but it's not possible to locate them using an RFID chip implant. The missing pet needs to be found physically. Then the entire body gets scanned until the RFID chip implant is found and read. Again, this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And the he is referring to the hegemony of the wicked, who, according to the book of Malachi chapter 1, verse 4, is Esau Edom, the so-called Caucasian race, cause of all people on the earth except for the elect of the nation of Israel, in whom the Lord Yahweh, through his son Yahushai, will keep from the hour of temptation, which is the hour of trial, through the idea of piercing. Of the piercing of what? Of the C ragamuffin. That you brothers and sisters should know what we mean when we say C ragamuffin. We are referring to the MOTB. We have to speak in codes, else Esau will clip these lessons and flag our channels. And Lord's willing, I'm of the elect as well as you brothers and few sisters. Reading on, both small and great, rich and poor, whether they be small or whether they be great, from a newborn baby to an elderly senior in society, whether they be rich in the society or whether they be poor in the society, free and bond, whether they be in the jail systems or whether they be free, to receive a mark, which is the MOTB, in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark. So no man will be able to buy or sell unless they have that mark when they mandate it, or the name of the beast, and the beast is the pagan Roman Empire, which came back in the form of NATO and the EU, with America being an extension of that empire, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom, that him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 600 score and 6666, which we currently see behind his products in his stores and his supermarkets and grocery stores in the form of UPCs, which stands for Universal Product Code. But now things are going to transition to a digital form, and not just any digital form, but a centralized digital form. Centralized meaning that it will be overseen by a central authority, and it will be able to be overseen by a central authority, that is, by the central authority of Esau Edom, through a digital network known as a centralized blockchain, a network that will allow them to utilize the chip for all manners of transactions globally. We've done videos beginning with the head elder apostles and elders and older brothers on down of Great Millstone, on down to men of like mind that are scattered here in America, which is Babylon the Great, and abroad on this topic. Elder Apostle Ramlab, in fact, had recently done a lesson concerning 666, Xi Stigma. And I encourage you, brothers and few sisters who haven't seen it as yet, to go and watch it. In fact, I'll leave the link to the lesson in the description box of this lesson, Lord's willing. So now let's go to Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. And the message concerning this to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians is to not take it when they mandate it. It's that simple. Because if you do, this is the judgment. Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and the image of the beast is a system of the beast. Everything that comprises this man's system, such as his medical infrastructure, his financial infrastructure, everything that comprises his system is the image, his laws, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, which means righteous anger. Which means that they're going to receive the full judgment, the full fury of the indignation of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua through the weapons of his indignation, which are the thermonuclear missiles. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone through those warheads, through the fire that is going to be produced from them, in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Who is the Lamb? Or Lord Yahweh Shai. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, meaning for a period of time. It doesn't mean forever and ever and ever. It just means for a period of time. And they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. So, again, the message to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians out there, to those of you that don't know and that will come across this video, is to not take Esau, Edom, C, Ragamuffin, is MOTB, when they mandate it. Because they will mandate it very soon. Right now, they're moving in gradual steps. It is known as gradualism, which is the idea or the policy of achieving a desired mean or end through gradual stages. Okay, so with that, okay, this lesson was brief, edifying, straight to the point, to the elect. Just another news update. Shalom to the elect.